Welcome to the live. I am Rob. I do a new genre of YouTube. What I do here, I've dubbed newsmentary. One day, mark my words, one day you're gonna see a genre on YouTube over in that corner, over in that sidebar, and it's gonna say newsmentary. Because when you think about it, a lot of people, Tim Pools, Hassanabis, Majority Reports, some more news, even more news, the Glenn Becks, the Tuckers, Swanson, McFlurry, Carlsons, all these talking heads, they're not unbiased. They're not just reporting the hard facts. All these talking heads, which a lot have migrated to YouTube or upload to YouTube, they do newsmentary as well. This isn't, what's up, Kevin Hawthorne? Good evening. Good to see you. If everybody new, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. What was I going to say? I was over in Salem today. You want to see? I love this. I want to get this for my niece. Want to get that for my niece. But like I was saying, I do newsmentary. But I'm very honest. Somebody in the chat the other day was like, "Are you biased?" I was like, "Yeah. I'm for the middle class, the upper middle class, the lower middle class, the low middle class, also known as poor. I'm for the people. I'm for the majority of the people who make this country run. If you're unaware, 70% of the economy is consumer purchasing power. That's us. That's you and I saying shit like, I want to go buy a shirt. I'm for us, so I'm biased. So the jokes we make are always going to be punching up. They're going to be at the expense of the wealthy. And if you are a bootlicker for Bezos or Musk or one of them or the Donalds, you might need a safe space from this channel. But what I was getting at is newsmentary should just be a genre here on YouTube. That's what I do. I'm Rob. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, because at least I'm honest about it. At least I am upfront and honest and say, hey, listen, if you're a billionaire, we want to tax you into extinction. You're not going to hear that on Tucker Carlson's podcast, okay? Tim Pool's never going to tell you that, but I will. And those fools are not hard-hitting journalists. I know Tim Pool worked for Vice with Google Lens or whatever sunglasses he had at the Occupy movement. You figure he would have learned more. But they're all biased, too. They just don't want to tell you that they're biased for their billionaire owners, the asset owners of this country. More ass than et. But I'm very biased. But I'm upfront about it. And I tell you, I'm here for you. I say once we tax those billionaires out of existence, make that billionaire word extinct, us working class folks are going to do a lot better. Anyways, isn't that a cool shirt? I want to get that shirt for my niece. What was I going to bring up? We'll get into the news. They're calling, what did I read it on? I forget what article I read it on. What website was this? I forget I'm sorry. I try to leave the website up top. It's cut out below. By the way, if you're new here, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm Rob. I go live every single weekday. We talk about the news. We joke about the news because the news is a joke. But I link everything we plan to talk about down in the description. Let's see, Jacob. Have you tried Fent, Kevin? Jacob. I don't know what that means, but I hope it's not. Something inappropriate. What's up, Kamikaze McMaster? Good to see you. Jacob, good to see you. Veiled Bookie free horse racing tips. Is that a channel you run? Do you give free horse racing tips on here on YouTube? Interesting channel. Never heard of it. But this, Trump's redneck recession hits his working class base the hardest. And just for those, well, I think we got to set some ground rules here. That's what I was wondering, Kamikaze. Jacob, don't ask people that. You leave Kevin alone, and don't be. We do not do drug. That is a horrible, horrible thing. Please don't be asking people. Please keep it kind of decent. Kevin is a good friend of mine. I love Kevin. I hope you're doing well, Kevin. Holding it down in Florida. We got people from all over the world. JH, I'm used to being fat, but I can't afford my groceries anymore. That's what we're here to talk about. That's what we are here to talk about, man. You know, what good is it to be fat if you can't afford Oreos? Can't afford the nature Oreos. Those are the ones I like. They're all natural. Have you tried not being poor? Slow. Oh, that's my favorite. That's a direct quote from every Republican ever. Have you just tried not being poor? You spending all your money on avocado toast? The irony, remember when they used to say just don't buy a new iPhone every year and don't buy avocado toast and then you can afford a home, like showing how ignorantly stupid they are? I'm like, people elected these morons? My God, we need to educate our country better. But the irony of them saying don't spend all your money on avocado toast is like they helped these corporations raise prices, and with Trump's tariffs, they're raising prices that at some point soon in the very near future, buying avocado toast is going to send you to the poorhouse. And that's not right here in America. Oh, Kim, I love it. I wanted to address, somebody said, what's his name? He's a big YouTuber. iDubbbz said something similar to what Kim said. Why are lottery sales highest in poor areas? And I've heard so many people repeat this. We're going to talk about Trump's redneck recession. I think that's so funny. That's what they dubbed it. I think that's hilarious. Redneck recession. And they dubbed it that just so everybody knows. Because Wall Street's doing fine. Because Wall Street is just about vibes, bitches. If you don't know that, it has nothing to do with actual products. It's all about vibes. And that's how, these corporations rob us even more. But Kim said, why is lottery sales highest in poor areas? And I've heard like lawyers and people on YouTube go, the lottery is a tax on poor people. And it's like, do you understand why? It's common sense. It's right in front of your face. You're almost saying it when you're asking the question or stating it like a fact, like poor people spend more on the lottery. And it's like, I want to see, I'm going to give you a second. Does anybody know why? This is very obvious. This is not a trick question. Does anybody know why poor people buy more lottery tickets than wealthy people? Can anybody figure this out? This is not like algebra or geometry or fucking some kind of, if two trains are leaving one station. Like, this is very easy, folks. Does anybody know why? Kim, hold on. Kim said, it's not about spending on lottery. It's about financial choices. Oh, no, Kim. Oh, no, Kim. Oh, no, Kim. Wrong. Because they are hopeless and want a chance, obviously. There we go, Kim. You're getting onto it. You know why poor people spend more on the lottery? Because they're not rich. Do you know why rich? I just want people to think, why the fuck, if you're rich, if you have passive income, if you own your house, if you have generational wealth, what is buying a lottery ticket to you? You're like, yeah, I really could go for a third vacation home. Does nobody get that? It's like, no shit. The lottery was invented for poor people. Now, if you want to say some crazy stuff like, oh, why are poor people gambling all their money? Then I would be like, that's fascinating. Why? Usually it's like the Michael Jordans of the world who are getting into mob debt. But it's like, no, lottery is built for poor people, okay? Lottery is for poor people. Rich people aren't like, oh, I gotta hit a 500 on that scratchy. They ain't doing that because they have that 500. So when you hear people say like, "Oh, the lottery is a tax on poor," like iDubbbz said that, and I was like, iDubbbz, you know, you're a pretty big YouTuber, but goddamn, sometimes you say some stuff that just makes you sound stupid. It's like, no shit, it's a tax on poor people, because poor people are poor people. They want money. They need money. And if you haven't been paying attention in America, maybe he's got rich parents, I don't know. But if you haven't been paying attention in America, you can watch generations work hard as F, 2, sometimes 3 jobs, and die renters, hungry and with medical debt and student loan debt that doesn't go away when you die. And this is your great country? I say fuck that noise, okay? I say fuck that noise. Sorry, I'm not watching the chat. What's up, Timothy? Good to see you. Poor people are the ones who invented the lottery. Are they? I don't know that. But Timothy, now you got a rabbit hole opened up for me. Oh, JH, I'm too fat and old to grow a garden. Don't ever say that. Nobody's ever too fat or old to grow a garden. And growing, I grow blueberries and raspberries, and I've grown blackberries. And right now, I don't know if you know what lychee is, but I got lychee, right? I love lychee. And in the center, there's a seed. And I never, ever thought in a million years that me putting this seed in a wet paper towel and leaving it on the windowsill, it would sprout. And it devastated me because it sprouted. And I just left it there. I'm like, do not grow anymore. And now the little tail, the root, the tap root is looking for soil. And I'm like, I can't grow you. You will not survive in this climate, little lychee. I can't grow you. I was like, I got to send it to my brother who lives in the tropical regions. Apple will be making computer chips in America. Winning. Yeah, right. They're going to find, do you know anything about the apple plants in China and the nets outside? I'm not going to go into it, but look it up. Money is a mental space. Lychee. Lychee is a like a Southeast Asian fruit. Look it up. It's got like a little thorny shell. It almost looks like a baby durian, but it's very adorable. And it's got a little pointy shell. It's really hard. You got to use a knife to get it open. And then it's got like a white, clearish meat inside that's very sweet, delicious, but it's got a huge seed inside of it too. There you go. Health tip for the day. $5,000 iPhones. What's up, Antito? Good to see you. For you slaves, extreme capitalism is destroying this planet. Let's just break it down real easy for everyone to understand, folks. By the way, hit subscribe. I think it's right there. Hit the notification bell. Welcome to the channel. I'm Rob. I do newsmentary, news commentary. We are biased. I love that somebody asked me, are you biased? They thought it was like a gotcha. And I was like, yes, I'm very biased. I want my communities to survive. I want the working class people to have to work one job and be able to buy a home, have no medical debt, have no student loan debt, get a higher education if you want, never have to worry about, should we call it Uber so we don't go broke calling an ambulance? I want them to have paid time off, paid parental leave, paid sick time off, never have to earn your sick time. It's repulsive that in America you have to earn time to take off at a job to be sick. That's fucked. Go ask Europeans about that, okay? But yeah, we break it down real quick. Capitalism demands infinite growth. If you go on any of the earnings calls for Wall Street, what do they want? They want more profits. Actually, we're going to talk about that. We'll go into that news story before we go into Donald's Redneck Recession. It was dubbed that, which is hilarious. Absolutely so funny. A redneck recession. You might be in a redneck recession if you thought Donald Trump cared about you. But infinite growth, which capitalism demands. Wall Street always needs bigger profits. They don't give a shit about you, the consumer, the quality, the chips in the bag size. They just need more profits to meet Wall Street's expectations, which are unreasonable if you ask me. But who cares about my opinion? And that infinite growth in a finite system, like we have finite resources on this earth. I don't know if you know that. Earth isn't expanding every day to give us more and more. It's a finite little system we got here. We should protect it. But that infinite growth in a finite system usually is called cancer. Well, somehow we've dubbed it capitalism. Lychee. Oh, I'm sorry. It's pronounced lychee. I pronounce it lychee. Lychee, tomato. Meanwhile, we give $4 billion to Israel while they get free healthcare. That is true. Kamikaze McMaster. All you need is 200 square feet per person. You can feed a person all year from 200 square feet of garden space. But what kind of garden space? I lived in Southern California, and if you're going to tell me those dust-ridden mountains near the valleys, 200 square feet, I'll tell you, you die. Unless you want to live off an olive tree. But yes, you just need a little bit amount of space. You could do it. And there's like, I forget what the gardening is called, but there's like this eco gardening. Like when we were growing corn, if you grow peas, I think it was peas next to the corn, they like resupplement the nitrogen. If you're into this stuff, study it. There's a whole art form to it. Santre Taylor, no such thing as free. You're right. When I say we should have free healthcare, what I mean, so everybody understands, is our taxes should pay for it. I believe that when we pay our taxes, because we're paying them, the government, we should get a receipt. We should know what our services are in our country. Isn't that weird that we don't get that? You get a receipt if you buy a donut, and I'm here paying the government, and I'm not getting a receipt of what I'm getting for that? Interesting. Bandito, if somebody's spamming, just mute them. If you're gonna spam, by the way, I'm Rob. Hit subscribe, hit notification bell. Welcome. I talk about the news every single weekday. And if you need a safe space, if you're one of those liberal tear drinkers that, makes fun of people for their pronouns, but then, need a safe space if I say something about Donald Trump and how he's destroying our country, this might not be the place for you. Go ahead. Keep on scrolling. Keep on scrolling if you're one of them snowflakes. You are the very interesting kind. You are paradoxical. You're the F your feelings crowd, but if I'm about to go into Donald Trump and how horrible he is as a human, not just as a liar, but as like the people he hung out with. You know what I mean? The people he hung out with, they're not the best. He wasn't sending his best. But for everybody else, hit subscribe. And just so you know, in the comments, in the live chat, no hatred. Listen, if you're going to joke, punch up, okay? Punch up, man. No misogyny, no homophobia, no transphobia, no racism. Because my mods will boot you out and we'll give you another shot tomorrow. Yeah, impeach Trump. That dude should be in prison. Never mind impeached. But somehow these redneck Republicans or the redneck recession that's going to affect a lot of people, they're like, oh no, he's cool. Like, just shut up. Just shut up. DJT for DOC. Bandito, we got to do stickers. Anybody know a good sticker maker? Anybody know a good sticker maker? Because DJT for the Department of Corrections is chef's kiss. Mwah. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Anyways, but Grover, the elite do not feel bad about what they're doing to us. We can not simply ask them to stop exploiting us. We have to radicalize it. Seize power they took from us. All right? All right? Let's cruise through Reddit. I'll take you guys through my Reddit feed for a minute. Look at this sticker. Speaking of stickers, that's a cool sticker, right? I would buy that one. I seen this meme today. Let's go through some memes. By the way, chat, if you're new here, where you from? Around the world, in the America country? Let me know. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate where people are from. And I hope you join the family, join the conversation, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time I go live, because I go live 5 days a week. Sometimes, like last weekend, I went live all weekend. Sometimes we even stream Fortnite. If you're into Fortnite, join the Discord. Solus helped me build that. Thank you, Solus. And we got a great little community in the Discord. But this one's hilarious. Look, this Twitter account said, leftist memes are hilarious. You're the ones being... I can't read it. It says something. You're the ones being something. There is no list. And it shows a t-shirt. What list? But then down below, if you could read that, it shows his other tweet. Hold on. Oh, no, I can't read it. I can't read it. Can you guys read it? Oh no, I'm not in my normal. Hey, what's up? Gma's here. Katya, you got me. You got me. But we're gonna talk about. Oh yeah, and this is what we address on this channel, folks. If you guys are wondering, okay? Trump talking about, you know, pharmaceutical prices, whether they're going down 15,000%, which my daughter was like, Dad, how does that work? And I was like, it doesn't. You know, that's why it doesn't make sense to you. Because kids are smarter sometimes than adults because they see things for what it is. They're not overthinking it or buying into the hype or, you know, members of a cult. Sometimes they are, which is very sad. We should help them. But, you know, there are some adults out there that heard Trump say we're going to drop pharmaceutical prices 1,500%. It's like, you can only drop prices 100%. After that, they're paying you. And I don't know any pharmaceutical company that's going to pay us. But we address stuff like this. You know, Americans are going to die from these bills that they're passing. 45% of Americans already can afford their necessary health care, and 31 million Americans are drowning in medical debt. Now Trump wants you to force to pay 250 more percent for your prescriptions. So we address stuff like this, folks. And if you're against this, that's fine. Go somewhere else. Go to Glenn Beck's channel. Go talk about lizard people. I don't give a shit. Go listen to Joe Rogan talk about how he hunted an elk and ate it raw. You know, like those people in Apocalypto or whatever. I don't care. But here we joke and try to educate, inform, entertain people about what's really going on. All right? Now, let's get into some news. The first news, free Luigi, by the way. Innocent till proven guilty. I don't know if you guys heard. I linked it down below. Newsweek has a story, and Status Coup News on YouTube. Great. Absolutely amazing channel. If you haven't watched it, I think I shared it in my community. If you hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I shared it in my community post. Status Coup News has been covering the Luigi Mangione updates. I don't think he has an actual trial date till early 2026. But big news today that Luigi is going to get his hands on a computer in prison, which is good. His rights have been allegedly violated up and down the board, and Status Coup News talks about it. But in connection with Luigi, I want to point out that UnitedHealth wants to leave certain MA markets affecting 600,000 enrollees. That's 600,000 people's healthcare. And I linked this article down below. And this article goes to talk about how the CEO, the big CEO, the middle management CEO got murked. But he started talking about how, medical expenses are getting more expensive. Well, that's the business you're in. Suck it up, buttercup. I know I pay almost my whole paycheck, 70% of my paycheck, to you, United Healthcare, to be covered. So if a doctor says I need something, it shouldn't matter the cost. That's why I pay you. But somehow, in America, we've allowed these CEOs to gatekeep us, and sometimes using AI from the healthcare doctors are telling us we need. And I wanted to point out in this article something interesting, because this gets lost. Also, most of the pressure, about 70%, is coming from physician and outpatient care. Physicians are saying, like, we need this. That should be the final word in healthcare. But this was really what I wanted to point out, people. When these articles say, this is what they're normalizing for you, read that. Profit was just $3.4 billion. Like, I'll have daily conversations with people where they're like, well, they don't want to lose money. I'm like, these corporations are not losing money. What it is they're not meeting Wall Street's expectations. Said in this sentence, if you can read between the lines, United Health's profit was just, like, think about that. Just 3.4 billion. They only profited, guys. Profit. This wasn't like, oh, well, you know, they only made this much and they still have to pay. No, profit. The profit was just 3.4 billion. Down from 4.2 billion the company recorded in 2024. Does anybody else get the frustration in this? Their profit comes from not providing health care to people who pay them to make that profit. This is absolute insanity. This is insanity. And what this is what I'm talking about when they need to meet Wall Street's expectations. These publicly traded groups, they're just doing it because the large shareholders are usually private equity and the CEOs are usually paid through some kind of compensation of stock valuations and stock packages. But guys, this is our health industry saying profit was just 3.4 billion. It was down, actually, not a good year. It's like, no, once you're cracking $1 billion, good year, guys. You've normalized this cancerous growth of needing to make more and more money. This is cancerous mentality coming from our healthcare industry. Sorry, I'm not reading the chat. Sorry. Let me take Resonance Kinetics. What's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. This is why Luigi should be free. Purples. My kind of comment. Sorry. Or am I? Sorry? I don't know. Hold on. See, sales always goes off predictions, which is always a number higher than the last. Duh. Poor healthcare CEOs. I mean, guys, how are the CEOs and the shareholders going to survive, when profits were just 3.4 billion? Be Luigi. Get a warm tent instead of boarding in hostels. Curtis. Hold on. New e-bike, still going through the process and getting a GPS tracker while using it. Did you get a new bike? Sorry, I'm trying to scroll back. Oh my God. Police department called me to let me know they won't be looking for my bike anymore. Curtis, there's your tax dollars hard at work. If you don't know, Curtis had... Shit, hold on. Rob, the government has a cheese cave, brother. What's a cheese cave? We need to raid it. What kind of cheese is it? Brian Vetter, you're not going to like this channel. Luigi is a criminal. Number one, that's anti-American, Brian. The way our justice system works is innocent till proven guilty, but that's okay. Show that you're anti-American. And number two, nothing's been proven, and I say free him. But if number three, you're defending these motherfuckers, then you ain't good for our communities. Your mentality, your take on life, to defend people who go profit from denying people health care. I had to listen to a mother talk about fighting UnitedHealth insurance for 3 years, trying to get her disabled son a new wheelchair that the doctor said he needs. This is, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't up for debate. And they fought her on it for 3 years. Or it was 5 years. It was so long that by that time it was like, what the fuck, And they had to fight United Healthcare in court because United Healthcare, deny, defend, depose, thinks that, going through the courts, people will give up because they don't have the money. So just when you read this sentence, profit that came from shit like that was just 3.4 billion, down from the 4.2 billion last year. This is money made. This is blood money. Makes no mistake. So Brian Vetter, thank you for, giving me that opportunity. United we stand, divided we fall. We will unite, Edson. Buckmiller. Joshua Taft, good to see you. How are you today? Brian Vetter, don't care about United Healthcare. I'm not mentally ill, so I don't need medicine like you. Brian, now you're showing your character. There it goes. Make fun of the people with any kind of mental health issues. That's a fucking winning strategy. And thank you for Timothy for shutting him up. Brian, come back again with a better attitude tomorrow. Hit subscribe and notification bell. We don't take shit like that. If you got a mental health issue, you know what? God bless you, number one, trying to go through this system to get help. But number two, and if you don't know, I have people very close to me who have been homeless with mental health issues for a long time. So I'll never shut up. In fact, Brian, keep coming back because I'm going to educate you. All right? Because having a mental health issue, you should be fucking thankful that you don't have one. that you're not homeless, struggling, not able to get medication, and can't get health care because of the way this goddamn country's set up, where they celebrate profit earnings and stuff, and having those mental health issues. In fact, I know quite a lot of people like that, and they're really good people, and they're people, number one. And your absolute garbage attitude, god damn, you could tell your mother didn't raise you right. Because if, my mother, oh, god damn, you just made me real mad. You triggered me. Because making fun of people with mental health issues is like, when I say punch up, guys, let me explain comedy for a second. If you're sitting around and you're making fun of like people who really can't snap back at you, you're like a human kicking, a baby puppy, or you're like a human like picking on a baby bunny, like they can't do nothing back, man. Pick on these motherfuckers who making your life a living hell and profiting off of it. It's absolutely disgusting when I hear people do that. It's so infuriating, And I'm sick of that culture, and I'm sick of these idiots like Elon Musk saying comedy is legal again. We could say the word retard. It's like, you could always say that, but just know people are going to think something about you once you use that in a certain way. All right? There's no illegal laws that said, it's so funny. People worship Elon and really think he made comedy legal. If you, by the way, go watch my video on comedy being legal on Twitter and how he freaked out and banned a bunch of people. He doesn't. He just wants to bully people. And that sign of the times is over, folks. And if you agree, hit subscribe and keep coming back. Hit the notification bell, because this is Wide Stern. Sorry, you got my attention. Tupac was an actor. Yeah, I love his movies. But this is absolutely insane that people, are brazen enough to pick on those with mental health issues. It's just so, oh, they're hating on Tupac? Oh, then you're just a moron. You're hating on Tupac. You don't know his history, nothing. He comes from a long lineage of Panthers. Go look up Afeni Shakur, the Panther 21. You should read her book. She took on New York State and the federal government and won. And she was her own lawyer while she was pregnant with Tupac. Just don't show me your ignorance. Again, people, sometimes I got to explain this. But the people like to come into the chat and they like to chirp off a little bit. And basically, I call them, they're these peacocks. They come out and show their plumage. They lift up their plumage of stupidity. And they're like, look at me, look at how dumb I am. Aaron Williamson, Clinton's called to testify. Yeah, isn't that weird that they want the Clintons to testify in public, but they want to speak to Ghislaine privately. And they'll say, hey, we'll give you the transcripts. But no, she can't talk in front of Congress. She needs to meet privately with Trump's former personal lawyer. And then she gets moved to Club Fed. And soon, I'm guessing, a pardon. It's got to be a pardon. I mean, this is how it goes. In fact, there was an article I linked down below. It's not a coincidence. After Ghislaine Maxwell prison move, what next? Well, it's weird. It's very weird. Todd Blanche, 1 week before the move, sit down privately with Ghislaine. She was transferred despite being a convicted trafficking for Epstein. But again, you can read this. It's linked down below. It's just absolutely amazing. And I say, you know what? Let Bill testify. But also Donald, I think there's some comic or somebody said there's more pictures of Donald Trump with Jeff Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell than that person had with their grandma. And I'm like, me too. Like, there's more pictures of Donald Trump, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Jeff Epstein than I have with me and my grandma. That's something, man. That is not to be overlooked, okay? But this article is great. The lawyers are talking law speak, legalese. And somebody asked if one should look at Maxwell's move as a one-off. Zelen, who I think was some lawyer, said this is the beginning, not the end. Something's going to happen. And somebody else was theorizing on the internet that, she's going to get out and then sent to somewhere where they don't have extradition. She's going to go to a different country. And I thought, God damn, I hope she starts a podcast. And when she's out and there's no tethering, like they can't put her back in prison, she spills the beans. Because what was this lady going to say? You know, what was Ghislaine going to say? She's looking at 20 years. And then they don't even let her go in front of Congress. They're trying to block the files from coming out. Release the files. Release the files, Donald. And then after, this lady gets to meet privately with Trump's former lawyer who defended him from some heinous stuff. Was she going to be like, say anything besides, what would you like me to say? I need to get out of here. You know, she's already been, there were stories about how she perjured herself already. It's just wild what people will tolerate. That's really what it is. Someone else said, the timing for this leads me to believe that maybe something really big is happening. Yeah, they're working behind closed doors on something. Where is it? This is the other article I want to talk about. Trump's redneck recession hits his working base class the hardest. Articles I plan to talk about, linked down below. Oh, by the way, did you see this? I didn't know there was a place called Trump Burger, but I read this story. I saw the meme on Reddit, and I said, "There's no way somebody opened a place that looked like that." You know, how repulsive. I'm like, you don't want to know what's in the meat. They got the beef, and is veal the young cow? Is veal the young cow? Because the joke should be, we got the beef. It's veal. It's very young, and it's massaged heavily. But this dude, one of the owners of Trump Burger, is being deported. So funny. So funny. My God. These people think like putting Trump on something. By the way, can I show you guys something real quick? I was in downtown Salem today. And look at how cute that's a little nightlight. You tap its eyes together and it turns on and off. Is that not adorable? Let me know if you love that in the chat. Hold on, let me take a look at the chat. I'm sorry. It's going by too fast. Timothy, Epstein was arrested and died on Trump's watch. Yeah. Stop talking about Biden released the list. We addressed this. Number one, Trump, Dan Boingo, Dan Vagina, Cash Money Patel. All these dudes made a career out of release the list. Trump promised it. But I always say, guys, take off the red hat, take off the blue hat. The Democrats and the Republicans don't work for you. They don't. I'm sorry. I hate to be the one to break this to you. I feel like I'm telling you the tooth fairy, you know. You don't want to know what she's doing with your teeth. I'm not even going to let you know. You're not ready for that. But this one, this was under Trump. Trump's best friend under Trump. And Biden isn't going to do that. Here's how I break it down. Here's how I try to explain to people that no matter Republican or Democrat, none of them care about you. We need a new system. We need something new. We need a working class party. We need workers of the world to unite. Okay, free Luigi. Because if right now it's all red and you're seeing how bad shit's getting, but even if we switched and voted all blue, does anybody honestly think we're getting universal health care? Paid time off? I mean, when it was blue, they didn't codify Roe. So, guys, trying to wake up. Anybody in there? McFly. New system. Yes, Gma. Yes. By the way, good to see you. George Carlin tried to tell it. Thank you, the white man. I am me. That's a cool name. Good luck with training to get them to see. You know what? I think people are going to wake up. It's unfortunate that a lot of people got to feel it personally for them to go, ooh, you know? Like you see these, what's the Andrew Schultz or these comics, like Joe Rogan and Andrew Schultz that have podcasts, and then all of a sudden when shit goes really haywire because they bragged and hosted these guys and gave them softball interviews, and they were like, oh, we had the president on, we helped get him elected, and then, you know, this disaster happened. They're like, this isn't what I voted for. It's like, no, this is exactly what you voted for. It's not our fault that you're stupid, that you let these politicians use you. It's not our fault that you know, basically enabled this man when all of this stuff was out there. It's like that one dude what was that one farmer who was like, I took a poll on BuzzFeed and it said I'd be best for Trump, and voted. And then Trump canceled all the fucking loans and he's like, my farm's going under. And people were like really mean. And then the media, this is again why I don't listen to the mainstream media. The media was like, guys, you know, and it's like, no, if you're taking BuzzFeed polls to figure out shit, when you say like, I don't have time, it's like, no, you make time. This is going to affect your life. That's why when people say don't talk politics, it's like, bitch, from the speed limit to where I cross the street, to what kind of meat you can eat, to, you know, your workers' rights, it's all politics. You need to. And you need to dedicate a little time. And especially when there's people like me out there saying he's going to cut taxes on the rich and make shit horrible. You know, you don't have to listen to me, but when I say that and I go link down below or go look it up, like that's your job. This isn't 1996 where I had to walk to the library and get an Encyclopedia Britannica to look shit up. You have Google on your phone, you dummies. So I got a feeling, all that little tirade to say that I got a feeling we're at this precipice point, man, where people are starting to be like, nah. This ain't red or blue. You know, this ain't it. This ain't it. This whole world was made up, right? From day one. From day one, when Grug was like, I'm going to call this a rock, till now, everything is human made. You know, men, women, we all just created this shit. And look at it. For those who, you know, stomp for capitalism and defend it and defend rich tax breaks and corporations paying 20% tax rate lower than most working class people at 22%, you're stomping for that. But I'm telling you, I've been here for decades, man, and it's only gotten worse. You know, when I was first around, when I first, you know, opened my eyes on this planet, there was shit like people working one job and buying a home and no credit card scores, and stock buybacks were illegal till 1982 when Reagan made them legal again. And there was all this stuff where people could live a decent life. And now we got people being like, you want free health care? And it's like, no, you fucking moron. We want our taxes that we pay into to be giving us something back, just like the rest of the world has figured out. You know, it's like, guys, stop stomping for people who don't even know you exist, number one. You think Bezos, you know, your invitation to his wedding when he rented Venice got lost in the mail? Like, not only does he not care about you, but if you really like these people, I always say go and work for them. I know stories and I know people who work for these people, and it's not fun, okay? The Tesla place right around the corner, one dude tried to start a union because he didn't have heat or air conditioning. It was one or the other, and he got fired. I mean, we're talking about one of the richest people in the world, right? Off our tax money. And these people treat their workers like garbage. We can fix this. Middle class shouldn't pay higher tax rates than the tax evading conglomerates. 100%. By the way, you know, don't talk bad about unions. Unions are amazing. David, go look up what happens when a union comes to your town. Your pay goes up by 12%. Don't be a fucking moron. God damn. Oh, I just don't know if they're bots, if they're like a manager somewhere where they've had to union bust, or they're middle management, or they're just uneducated. It's one of those three choices. Because, like, this isn't, like, debatable. This is, like, there's numbers, you know? You can't be like, that's not a 3. It's like, it is, you fucking dummy. The magic number. Oh, David, you know what? When you start saying, not Tony, sorry. Timothy, can you just mute David? David, come back, try again tomorrow. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. But, you know, some of the stuff you're saying is just... Jacob, Rob, tell everyone to be nice to me. I don't know what you're saying, Jacob. So if you're running your mouth, you know, again, folks, act accordingly. Act accordingly. Are people just being mean for no reason? But we get people here all the time. Again, if you're not one of those people, I highly encourage you to hit subscribe and notification bell. But we get people here all the time being like, no, it's fine. And it's like, it's not fine. Why do you think this country sucks more and more every year? Why do you think people worried about the price of eggs? You know, it's like, God damn, it's not because, like, it's always so funny to me when people are like, it's fine, give the rich people tax breaks. Like, they're job creators. It's like, what kind of jobs are they creating? One where you need to work 4 of them to live? Because fuck them. But we've been doing this, guys. Like, this is, you know, this isn't new. That's what I'm trying to link down below. The AFL, the American Federation of Labor, CIO website, is a CEO pay tracker. You can look up yours. And you'll see that from 1960 or right around the 60s, when it was 20-1 CEO pay to the median worker, till now, which some companies, it's 6,666-1. That's a big difference, and no one brings that up. Like, I wish people, when they were like, you want to pay $20 for a Big Mac, I wish they would equate it to the real problem, the greed in this country, because the federal minimum wage hasn't moved since 2009. It's still at $7.25, but somehow CEO pay has skyrocketed, and all of a sudden prices have gone up a ton, and nobody's putting that together. But anytime I'm like, you know, raise the federal minimum wage, these morons are still out here going, great, you want everything to get more expensive? It's like, guys, number one, if we all agree that everything gets more expensive over time, how come the price of labor doesn't go up? But number two, everything's been getting more expensive over time, and the federal minimum wage has not moved. Oh, Desmond White, people let their hate of others get in the way. Yes, 100%. But they masquerade as like, oh, take an Econ 101. They masquerade as these intellectuals, where really they, like, that's why when they expanded America's deficit by $5 trillion, it was like, finally, guys, take the mask off. Don't pretend you care about budgets, because if you did, we could just tax the billionaires and pay for the budget. Like, just pay the whole thing off. We could just easily, like, we could just tax billionaires into extinction and just let them be 999,000 millionaires, and we could pay for the budget. Like, simply, okay? But they took the mask off, and they blew the budget up, gave wealthy people, their owners, these breaks, and you can finally go, see, it's just because they hate you. They hate the working class. They hate the poor. They hate the upper middle class. Because Econ 101, there was some econ teacher that came in, college teacher. I said, you know, that's all made up. And he got really upset. And I was like, no, literally, it's all made up. You act like it's, you know, atoms and fucking number. Like, it's just not. It's made up. It's theories. It's not fucking the earth going around the sun or the sun going around the moon kind of theory. I mean, it's not like that in the way of like, we know what it really is. It's like, yours just hypotheses. And most of the time it's blatantly misleading, and it's all to anchor keeping the wealthy wealthy. And so it's just all bogus. GOP, guardians of PDF files. Them Trump milkshakes are the best. Has anybody ever been here? My Christ. Michael, bro, you need to listen to yourself. Bro, go do your own live stream. Leave, Michael. Leave. Just go, okay? If this is making you upset, just get the fuck out of here. God, I don't know why if you guys just want to stump for Trump, just go to like Truth Social or something and just go like every post he does. I'm sure he's like, you know, all caps yelling about something. Well, let's get into this. The Redneck Recession, bitches. Are you ready for it? But let's pay attention. Despite stock market highs. Let's figure this out. Can everybody figure out who this recession's going to hurt? The U.S. president risks losing the base that voted him into office. Not by the likes of my chat. They don't care if he's a PDF file best friend. They don't care if he pardons Ghislaine. They don't care if he promised them to release the Epstein files and he doesn't. They don't care. They just want someone, a dictator, authoritarian, to tell them it's going to be okay. It's not their fault, and it's someone that's not their skin color's fault. Like, that's what they want, and they're happy. You know, they're happy from other people's suffering. So this article, it says, well, we've exceeded splitting the economy in two. No, it's always been in two. Wall Street is all like vibes. That's how Elon Musk got a 29 point something billion pay package from Tesla, even though he tanked the company. Like, I just want you to think about this. In real life, okay, in not Wall Street land, if you do what Elon did, if you don't show up to work because you're working in the government, a different job for months, and you're sig-heiling and you're saying all this pretty bogus stuff and lying about fraud and costing the taxpayers 21 billion, I think it was, and you're doing all this other stuff and you're not being CEO, but then you come back and be CEO. So you tank the stock prices, right? But then you come back. How do you get a $29 billion pay package? Like, does anybody in the chat have a job where they can leave that job for 6 months, come back and get more money? Like, this is fucking nuts, man. But somehow there will be people in the chat that are like, he's worth it. It's so funny. Jobs came out lower. I'm not protecting anyone, but the data, Richard, if you're stumping for Trump, if you're going for Donald Jennifer, Donald Epstein's best friend Trump, then you're protecting him. Anything other than being like, release the files, why would you ever even consider pardoning people that you're considering to pardon? You're protecting them. It might be hard to swallow, but you need to understand like what, because here's the thing, guys. The reason I say this to people, because number one, I don't think they hear it ever. I think a lot of people like, kid glove them, where they're like, no, that's right. It's just like these podcasters. I wish someone would be like, no, you guys, you bragged about getting them elected. You have to be responsible for this shit. And the way you do that is you turn around and you go, fuck this guy. I'm not for any of this shit. This isn't my America. We need to do something. It's always funny when I see those Trump bumper stickers, t-shirts, hoods of trucks that say, take America back. I'm like, from who, guys? Immigrants aren't the CEOs. The CEOs run this country. They own the politicians. They fund them. They write the laws. They get the tax breaks. They gather all the assets. They own this country. So who are you taking the country back from? Like, I still can't figure out the mentality of take the country back from immigrants. Like, are you talking about like the original immigrants, like the Pilgrims? Because, okay, then let's do that. Let's give back to the Native Americans. But you're even like the shit you guys put on stickers doesn't make sense. It's like, take it back from who, guys? I don't know. When I worked in radio, the CEO wasn't a guy who crossed the border. Like when they were doing 30% of the company layoffs company-wide, it wasn't like an illegal immigrant who was firing everybody. Anybody, are you guys getting this? It's absolutely, and the illegal thing is just your racism, It's like, because you're not Native American. If you are, shout out to your tribe, man. What tribe are you? So you don't get to say shit like illegal Americans. I'm tired of old white guys saying illegal American. It's like, pay attention, man. Pay attention to American history. Pay attention, all right? Hold on. Giano Reno, at Pat Yeager. If he's failing at life, you're watching and commenting. That guy 11. Humans are not illegal. That's right. They ain't. Giano Reno. Can I just call you Reno? Because I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But it's funny, man. I love people come in here and just say like shit like you're failing at life. It's like most Americans are. Have you not been paying attention? Are you not reading this article with us? Are you not aware of like, maybe you're blind and deaf, your fingers work, but maybe you're just stupid. I don't know. Like my mom said, what are you, a maroon? Most Americans, over 50%, are living paycheck to paycheck. We're all failing at life. That's what I'm commenting on. But good for you to be observant. And Reno, appreciate you. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We got Lakota in the house. Awesome. This is rad. I still, the Native American history is such an important one. I'm very happy that Leonard Peltier got out. And I one of my good friends who died last year was Native. And it just bugs me when I hear all these people talking about, illegal immigrants. I'm like, guys, most of you weren't born here. Like your descendants. Like you might have, but your descendants. Daniel Britton, you have never spoken to a Matuve American? What's a Matuve? Truth hurts. Do you still live with your mom? My mom died decades ago. Oh, but I'm betting you do. Blackfoot still voting. I love when people call me a hater. You're right. I hate fascist, authoritarian, racist assholes that want to strip healthcare from the vulnerable, people with disabilities, that want to criminalize homelessness. You're right. You're right. Thank you. And you're a lover of all that heinous stuff. Glad you're paying attention. See, you got a little bit up in that noggin. Now use it for good. I'm Cherokee and Irish. It's so funny when people say, like, Timothy, you see that dude that just said, hail King Trump? Just, guys, instead of saying Trump 2028, a-hole, and instead of saying hail King Trump, just say, I hate America. I'm anti-American, because that's what you're saying. You're saying, F the Declaration of Independence. I want a declaration of dependence on a king, and I would like that king to be an orange turd. Taco. Pat Yeager, cry about it harder. That's what I would say to you if I was going to address you. But I'm not going to address you. I'm going to ignore your comment. Your God, your God King is orange. Even worse than that, he's best friends with Epstein. Like lots of videos. He's a creep. Go listen to his interview on Howard Stern where he talked about why he owned pageants so he could go into the back. Teen pageants, by the way. That's the guy that you guys love. It says a lot more about you than you think. I hope you know that. Republican government. Your God, oh my God, hold on. Weird, deplorable. Your God King was geriatric. Number one, if you're talking about Joe Biden, I do not like that dude. But number two, he's the same age as Joe Biden. I love this mentality stuff. Like these people, are so fucking dumb. They're like, your guy was geriatric. It's like, dude, have you not seen the muffin top on Trump's cankles? That is some old ass cankle stuff. Like cankles don't normally do that. And I'm talking about cankles. Deny, delay, deflect? No, it's deny, delay, depose. Isn't it? Jasmine Crockett, Tina. I love Jasmine. Now listen, when I was listening to her talk, here's all the Democrats. By the way, trying to set the feds after the Democrats, it's like, you bunch of babies. Stop it. Nobody should be in for. And again, here, they're showing you who they are. When people show you who they are, believe them. They want to gerrymander Texas so your votes don't matter, They don't care. Again, they should be like, we want they should rewrite the Declaration of Independence and write a Declaration of Dependence on Trump. Maybe that's what I'll do for them. My great uncle, John Brown, rewrote the Constitution to actually include women, natives, and black folks. So maybe we should rewrite and do a Declaration of Dependence for all these Republicans. But Jasmine, that's right, Jasmine Crockett, like I love her energy, but she needs to break away from that Democratic Party, come to the Workers' Party, the socialist, Marxist, radical wokeists that your Republicans warned you about, that don't want to ban books and want everybody to have healthcare paid for our taxes, aka free healthcare. But she needs to get out of there because she is a good leader, and she's a confident woman. And that's important, and we need that. And it scares Republicans. It scares a lot of men. But, it scares me because we've seen the Democratic Party does not care about people either. I say free Palestine. Karim for life. Some of these people, when you comment, like, just check your spelling. I know you're so furious that you're trying to do it fast, but when you say something like, did you get a gold medal in the ignorant Olympics? Jason Crockett is S leader. It's like, you can't say I'm ignorant and then misspell Jasmine Crockett to Jason Crochet and then say is S leader. And I'm not one of them grammar people, but I just want to point out, like, Hans, take a little more time, slow down, take a deep breath. I know you're very angry. Everything, we're just joking, man. God, you guys get so fucking butthurt all the time. Republicans, I thought you guys drank liberal tears. It seems like you're, drinking them only to make more of your own. But like, Hans, take a breath, calm down, and then type your little angry thing after, okay? Okay, we're going to put you in timeout for a day. Sometimes I got to do it too, because once you start stomping that walk, we're gonna shut you up real quick. Unfortunately, third-party candidates can't really get their point and their goals across effectively. Too many different types of groups. How are you going to resolve that? Ooh, Octologic Smith. You're right. Kurt Cobain had a band, Nirvana, back in the 90s. One of the best. Still one of the best. We miss you, Kurt. And his bassist, Chris Novoselic, is doing politics in Seattle, Washington. And he just got put in charge of, I forget what the party's called. And he's really pushed for ranked choice voting, which I think is better. And I think we're starting to see more of that. But we need something where these two parties, because again, voting shouldn't be like the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl sucks for a reason, because you get the people that have their teams in it. By the way, don't watch the Super Bowl. It's so sad that America looks forward to corporations doing commercials every year. Fuck that noise. We got a lot of work to do, America, but I'm here for you. We're going to make this place better. We're not going to be celebrating Super Bowl ads anymore. We're going to be celebrating your third vacation in a year that's paid by the corporation that made $3 trillion last year, okay? But I think we need more people to wake up to some kind of different structure. And again, I'm not the smartest person. I just joke on YouTube. But I like to look at what other parliaments do in Europe. I like to see what other states and because remember, America was the great experiment. We stole a lot from France and Rome and all this. That's why you hear people go, it's a constitutional republic. It's not a democracy. You hear all those fucking knuckleheads chirping like they were in Rome at the Colosseum with the senators, like they were et tu brute. But the thing is we need to do that. We need to look around the world, go, what works best for the people, and then steal that idea. Just like Jimmy Donaldson, Mr. Beast, looks around on YouTube and goes, what's the most popular stuff on YouTube and Netflix? Squid Game? I'll steal that idea. Mr. Beast is an original piece of shit. Sorry, I can't stand him. So Octologic, was that the name? Hope we pronounced that correct. I think Octologic, what we do is we get great minds to steal ideas from other countries, and then we implement them here. I hope that kind of helps. I don't know what you thought of that answer, but... Bro, how is it a knucklehead to take to say USA is a constitutional republic? Because they say it in a context where they're trying to defend fucking gerrymandering or something, because the only time I hear those people say that stuff is usually to defend some kind of heinous act. That's why they're a knucklehead. Because you never hear him saying it being so that means the people should have fucking parental time off paid for by the corporation. It's never, that sentence is never going into something for working class people. It's just like the whole states' right argument about the Civil War. It's as soon as you hear someone saying that, just know they think they're smarter than they are, and they're about to say a lot of stupid shit, because the Civil War was fought about slavery. These people, man, they will pinpoint something. No communism, thank you. Well, then you don't have to have it, but maybe the rest of us want it. Son of cool. You probably worship the old gods anyways, so. Speed stacking maniac. Well, I'm saying it's true without any extra connotation. So yeah, I missed the first thing you said. U.S. is a constitutional republic. All I can say is to everyone that in this room that voted for Trump, don't take my word for it. Go look in the Constitution. Look up the rules for elections in the U.S., United States, or presidency. Okay. Civil war means a war within the civilization. I don't know, life on the streets. I thought that war meant it was like a fancy, very cordial war. Like they would line up and face each other and be like, all right, sir, you shoot first. And then they would go, patow. And they would go, now it's your turn. It was a very civil war. Oh, we have fun here, guys. We have fun. Oh, tomorrow on the live stream, I forgot. I made some notes. I wanted to tell you guys how to survive a recession. One hint, a CEO from one of the cereal companies already gave to you. He said, if you can't afford it, then don't eat breakfast. And if you can't afford dinner, just have cereal for dinner. You know, that's the American dream. Just eat cereal for dinner. Don't believe me? Go Google it. One of the cereal CEOs was like, oh, dinner too expensive, just eat cereal for dinner. Like that's the what is going on over there? There's some kids screaming. But so tomorrow on the live stream, hit subscribe and the notification bell. Come back and join me. Daniel Britton, the Civil War was fought, oh my God, it's taxes imposed by the noise. Daniel, you are so fucking dumb. Like, don't say that in IRL. Don't say that to real humans, okay? Please don't. I'm not even going to read your comment. Your stupidity will not be accepted here. Oh, Christ. And that's, you know, that's a line I draw. I have a t-shirt that says, I don't argue with people that John Brown would have shot. Do you know who John Brown is, Daniel? Let me ask you that. Do you know? Bandito, it was known as not the War of Northern Aggression, it was the War of Northern Taxation. Historically known as the War of Northern Taxation. Calabra. They also said my grandparents need to get a second job. It was known as the War of Northern Taxation and second job for second-class citizens. Holy shit. Daniel, do you know who John Brown is? Don't Google it. Just answer me. I love when these people don't answer me. That's my favorite. You're stupid, Daniel. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? I called you stupid because you're talking about taxes being the cause of the Civil War. I really can't get over it. Like, how have you survived this long, you know? Without someone being like, excuse me, sir, what you say? I got to get my sister on this live stream. She'll put you in check real quick. Bandito, my Christ. Kovar, Dementia Donna says, my father doesn't have the right to be an American citizen because he was born on a U.S. base in Okinawa. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, you know what, don't worry. Old Dementia Donald Jennifer Epstein's my best friend. He's a very good guy, but he likes girls on the younger side. Trump, old Taco himself, fuck that dude. You know what? He's rubbish, absolute rubbish, and he's convinced people to hate other people and to think that stuff. From us at Blackfeet Nation, much love and peace. Oh, much love and respect, Holy Angel. Do you watch who's the there's an old dude who talks about Native history here in America. Oh God, I can't think of his name. He's a great YouTuber, but he teaches some of the words. That's another thing. If there's a Onondaga Nation, awesome. I love it, man. I love it. I think it needs to be taught more. I think we need to give the land back to the native tribes. I think, oh my God, there's so many things. I would love if you'd ever want to come on. Holy Angel. Do you do a YouTube channel? We gotta support You gotta support the community. If you do a YouTube channel, shout it out in the comments so people could check you out. Geoffrey Donahue. No one cares what you think. Okay. And when people say Geoffrey, they think of Epstein. It's a good thing no one cares what I think. Who is this clown? I say, who are you, Tucker? With a name like Tucker, Swanson, McFrosty, Binkley. Are you related to Carlson? We natives don't mind white people. It's the rich white ones that bring the pain. Yeah. Listen, it's unfortunate that the wealthy white people have convinced the poor white people that they can say shit like illegal immigrants without being, completely hilariously ironic. David Britton, I asked you, I'm not reading any more of your comments. I asked you if you know who John Brown was, and you're fucking copy and pasting stuff from, I don't know, loosechange.com or some shit. I don't know what you're reading, but buddy, it's okay. It's okay. You're okay, buddy. You know what? It's okay. Where can I read the article behind you? Oscar Hun. I feel like I'm calling you Oscar Hun. Oscar Hun, you can read it down below. I link all the articles I plan to talk about down in the description. If you're new here, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I do link everything down below. I also have some other links like Gary's Economics, how we take power back and how we take control back, us, the working class people. Remember, it is not a culture war, folks. It is a class war. Gary's Economics, link down below. Fred Hampton Jr., the Black Panther Cubs, has a great video linked down below. So I'll give you guys some treats down there. I don't know if you ever explored down there. But Oscar Hun, the article's linked down below. IFV, why are you shouting? Maybe your ear thing is turned up too loud. Is that Hunter S. Thompson in your profile pic? You're welcome. I appreciate you stopping by, Oscar. I always try to leave the reading material. Cool with it. All caps, please. Some is fine. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, don't, please. You know what I've been doing lately? Real quick, because I got to wrap this up. I forgot we've been on here for so long. Isn't this shirt cute, though? Let me show you this shirt. This shirt's so cute. I want to send that to my niece. Listen, you know what I've been doing lately? Well, and you'll see it. If you go, some people have been in my comments, chirping away. And sometimes, like, you just can't engage. You just can't engage. That's why my wife got me the shirt that says, I don't argue with people John Brown would have shot, meaning like racists and other people like that. So you just can't engage. But sometimes when I do, I wish I could have a tone or a sarcastic font, because what I've been doing, Bandito, you'll like this, is I've been saying whatever I have to say, and then I say, thank you for your attention to this matter, like Donald Trump does. I got to start doing it in all caps. That's why I brought that up, because he does everything in all caps. I got to start saying, thank you for your attention to this matter in all caps. This is fucking hilarious. So for everybody who, if you got to deal with a Trumpy and it's through text or on Twitter or on, if it's on social media, when you're done saying whatever you have to say thank you for your attention to this matter in all caps, because I keep doing it and it's fucking hilarious, or at least I get a laugh out of it. I don't give a shit if anybody else does. Are you talking about John Brown, the abolitionist? Yes, that is my great uncle, Calabra, which everybody should know about him. He's an American hero. He's sparked the Civil War, Osawatomie, Captain Brown, worked with Harriet Tubman, was gonna hive the bees, and Ethan Hawke played him in a great miniseries on HBO, or it was on HBO, called The Good Lord Bird, which there's your recommended viewing for tonight. I hope you watch that, because Ethan Hawke does an incredible job with my family member. And the way they tell the story is very funny, very unique. Yes, he is shouting, thank you. All right, guys. Listen, everybody, hit that subscribe button. I want you to come back. Hit the notification bell after the subscribe so you get notified when I go live. Much love, much respect. Sorry, we didn't go into too much of the Redneck Recession. You know what we'll do tomorrow? We'll go into the Redneck Recession, and I'll give you my tips on how to recession-proof your life. Hint, hint. One is stop eating. You want to cut grocery costs, folks? Well, the corporate CEOs of America will tell you it's very easy. Why are you spending money on food, dummies? Stop eating. Just drink the waters. So we'll. By the way, hold on. I gotta say something. Who was it? Calavra? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Calavra? You knew who John Brown was. Thank you. Not enough people know who he is. And then some Southerners think he's a bad dude. And we call them morons. I love thinking about my great uncle striking fear into the hearts of those Southerners, those racist assholes. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for shouting. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Yeah, listen to the guy without a real job. No Spike Palm. Go listen to Ben Shapiro, Tim Pool, Glenn Beck, all those guys, all those manly men, Joe Rogan with real jobs who podcast as well. You guys are so dumb. You say stuff that is so stupid on its face. You're like, this is what? If I was hammering concrete like I used to, if I was doing masonry like I used to, would then you listen to me? Did then I become more credible? Shut the fuck up. You're so I love the mentality. Listen, I hope you're young. Maybe you're like 20-something. Because I also say I'm your personal vibe coach. Back in the early 2000s, a lot of these 20-year-old girls on MySpace were being life coaches, right? Hilarious. I was like, how are you a life coach? You haven't even lived that much yet. Like, you got to live through some stuff to be a life coach. And last week, it hit me. I was like, oh, shit. I'm going to make vibe coach a thing. But the thing is, I'm not really a vibe coach for most people. I come to find it's like the incel maggots who I become a vibe coach for, because they chirp and say stuff like, get a real job. And I'm like, a real job like what? Ben Shapiro does, where he does the same thing I do? A real job like what? Joe Rogan does, where he does the same thing that I do? Like a real job like what? Like when I used to lay brick and bluestone, when I was doing masonry, is that, do you want me to do that while I'm doing the live stream? Well, then you'd be like, look at this real job man with his hands. Like, you say shit that you need a vibe coach to teach you, like, shh. Quiet down, okay? It doesn't matter what people do. It's the content of the character. Go on The View. Oh, I'd love to go on The View. Thank you, Aaron Williamson. I should go on The View. First time viewer. I like it. Thank you, John Franco. I like that last name. Keep it coming. I'm going to check it out. Please do, Calavra. Sorry. Sage. Who podcast as well? You mean who articulate and speak so much better than you? Yeah, I will. Okay, Sage. Bye. Nia winner means thank you in Onondaga. Tonka or Tutanka means buffalo. Ukamiki means beaver. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. Thank you, Kamikaze McMaster. Why do never Trumpers support now? It's two parties in America, right? Like it, James Lindsay. Tim Pool shilling for Russia at 100K per episode. Bandito. Invite Kamala to your podcast. Why? So I could be like, why would you promise to decriminalize cannabis and then not do it? Like, you're an asshole. You understand me? You're an asshole. I'm not going to patty cake like Joe Rogan did with Donald Trump. I'm not going to patty cake with J.D. Vance did with Theo Vaughn. Like, you guys worship these people who just softball questions. That's why, like, it's a joke. Be like, why not just decriminalize cannabis? It's a medicinal, natural substance that stops children from having seizures. Make it legal now. You know? And then be like, go ahead. Say what you got to say. That would be my question. It's not even a question. Everything the power does, it does it in a circle. This guy's oh, Jesus. District attorney, the top cop. Yeah, top cop. Life on the streets. Didn't say he hated Joe Rogan. He said that it's hypocritical while they're over there rooting on Joe Rogan that no one else can do what Joe Rogan does or anything else because it's not a real job. Yeah, thank you, Live on the Streets. That's what I was. Well, I do dislike Joe Rogan because he's, helped accentuate this mess we call America. But I think there's hope for Joe Rogan. I think there's hope for a lot of people. But Live on the Streets, you were making my point. When they're like, go get a real, when they say, what's your job? They want me to be unemployed or they want to know my job so they can make fun of it. But I don't subscribe to your paradigm. I don't give a shit what people do. If somebody is a janitor and has a brilliant idea, I'm not going to be like, ha, dumb janitor. Like, that's not how my brain works. I don't fucking value people on what their job title is. And I make fun of people because when you do that, I'm like, what? Are you going to have a gravestone that says, like, worked at Target? Like, bitch, you ain't doing that. Nobody does that. Shut up. It's not important. Jeff Bezos wants you to think a title is important. And they do that because when they put assistant to the manager, they can steal from you. They cannot pay you what you deserve to be earning. But you've bought that hook, line, and sinker, and then you call other people sheep. My whole point is, like, when you say shit like a real job, but then you turn around, you're like, Joe Rogan's brilliant, Tim Pool's so smart, that let's say hypothetical asshat who, when your whole argument is based on let's say hypotheticals, like, you're not a real serious person. You're just not. So, yes, thank you for Life on the Streets. By the way, Life on the Streets, do you do a YouTube channel? It looks like you do a YouTube channel. Thank you, Kamikaze. James Lindsay. Mitakuye Oyasin. Jay and Silent Rob. Oh, that's a funny name. That was a good one, Aaron. Build your own business. Never. Chief, what's up? Good to see you. Been working on a no-start car for son. Oh, well, I hope that thing gets started, man. Send some good vibes out there. Oh, I said I'm going to send some good vibes out there. Did you hear that car just rev in the background? That was weird. It was like my mind did it. Do you hear that? Oh, that freaked me out. Watch out for the power of your mind. Von Elbing. No one makes fun of you because whatever your job you do, they laugh at you because you have a weak-minded way of thinking. Yeah, being compassionate to the most vulnerable in society is very weak-minded. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And yes, Vaughn, that's what they do. Someone just in the chat was like, don't listen to this guy, go get a real job. It's like, God, some people just need someone to worship. Anyways, do you employ contractors? A 4-person staff means nothing to me. I'm missing some of that conversation. I wonder who's financing this new grift. Elon Musk is. It's funny. So I worked in radio for a long time. And once Trump got employed in the industry papers and stuff, there were so many right-wing conservative talk show job openings. They've started to fizzle out, but that's why you got Newsmax, News Nation, all this shit. So it is a real thing. Unfortunately, I haven't made any money on this yet, but go ahead and you can super chat or whatever. We're there, folks. We're there. For Google's sake, I'm actually having fun here. Kamala boy. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. People got to take off the red hat, the blue hat, and just understand, I'm for you. Even if you hate me and you call me a soy boy and anti-fascist, which is a good thing in America, I want you to understand, I want you to have paid time off. When you have a kid, I want the company to pay for your parental leave. Okay? Like they figured out in the rest of the world. I don't want you to ever have medical debt. If you want to get a higher education, I want that to be paid for by our taxes. Our taxes, mine too. I'm fine with that. No more bombs, more education. Okay? So that's the difference between you and me. Some people get off on people suffering, and I really like seeing people succeed. I want people, that's also why I say, if you're a small channel, like Life on the Streets, shout it out in the chat. I'm not like these asshats where it's, I should start vetting the channels, though. I gotta be careful with that. All right, guys, we're all in the same boat. That's it. That's the spot. I said the Lakota people know all things and teach Well, and that's the other thing. If you look into like native history and how the native tribe work, man, how many conversations I've had where I'm like, we should. I wish the natives were front of the country. The way they set up their society was so fucking magical, so magical. All right, guys, I gotta get going, but I'll be back tomorrow. I'm live streaming every weekday. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Much love, Bandito, Chief, Curtis, Gma, Calavra. If I forgot you, my apologies, but I send love to you. That's why we're doing this, because we're punching up. Comedy is activism. One job should let you buy a house. Minimum wage job should let you buy a house, get a higher education, have no medical debt, never think about calling an Uber instead of an ambulance. By Christ, folks, we got a lot of work to do, but let's keep doing it while we joke about the news, because the news is a joke. We could take this country back, but all you maggots who've been saying, take the country back, immigrants aren't running the country, folks, okay? Is Donald Trump and his wealthy coastal elite best friends, like his neighbor, Jeff Epstein, is all those folks, okay? Including Bill Clinton. There you go. I don't give a shit. I ain't tied to none of these politicians, okay? All right, guys. So please hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Bandito. Oh, by the way, new Fortnite season. Let's get on there. Let's get on there. Peace.